Yeah, good morning. Good morning. You're welcome to my
Yeah, good
podcast
morning.
channel. Thank you so much, Mr. Tosi, for
All
joining
right,
me
thank you
today.
for having me. Good morning to everyone.
Today we want to review a very interesting book. We both read it last month, and we felt more people should read this book because I think personally, it opened my eyes to so many things that maybe I knew before, but not at that depth. And I was able to also review some of the activities I do. So I think this book is good for business people, founders, people that are starting a new brand, and even
Millennials.
people that have been running their brand for a while. But there's this aspect. Perhaps you are not getting a certain result, or you want to scale. You have to go back to the root and try to see what are you doing well, what are you not doing well. So this book is an expose into how to properly position yourself in the marketplace. We're going to be running through it together. So we are probably going to be picking from some key chapters. So this is not to say that after watching this review, you should not still go back to read the book, but with the understanding you get from this review, it would spur your interest to also go and read the book in details. So you are very welcome, Satoshi. Thank you for joining me. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah, you. I love you for some time.
All right. So let's speak from the what you were the one that suggested the book, and I must say that this is a very casual conversation. I'm not trying to be be the shall I say the nerd here. So this is a very sincere conversation. Mr. Tosin is my very good friend. So you suggested the book. Why did you suggest the book to the group for us to read?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, please confirm if you can hear me.
I can hear you very well.
Yeah, so I belong to a group where most of the time in the beginning of the year they recommend this book, Start with Why. So I think this is the one reason why I have to get it handy myself. I have the soft copy at some point. So I'm a business consultant and also a growth impact for organizations both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And most of the time, founders are lost in the pool of ideas trying to find themselves. And at the beginning of the year, it's always a good time to find yourself again, especially for you to have a fresh idea on how to lead your team better and also how to expand on whatever you are doing. So the book is always recommended in the cycle I belong to, and it's also very important that you read it at the beginning of the year, and that also can shape your what you call your focus for the year and what you want to do. And so that's why it begins with start with why. So everything you are doing this year, why are you doing it? What's the purpose? To what reason? To what extent are you doing this? Do you have clarity? Do you have people to work with? Are you communicating your why to the people, both your downline, your upline, and also people in your level? So that's why I also recommended the book for that community that we both belong to.
Okay, so you mentioned they recommend this book every year. You meant every year or beginning of this year?
At the beginning of the year. So we read this book at the beginning of the year.
Every year.
Yes.
Wow, wow. Sinek should find some of us like this and will pay us some amount from the book. Awesome. For real, if you read the book 10 times, I'm sure you will see something to pick from it every time you read the book. Because that part of clarity is one thing people struggle with. I had a clarity session for two different people yesterday. One was my boss, someone I work with, and he travels around the world. And after we had the session, he was blown away. That means, at even at his level,
Wow.
he still needed a level of clarity. He has traveled to, at least that I can count now, nothing less than 100 countries. Someone at
Wow.
that level, his legs have touched 100 countries. So, but at that level, he was busy with So many things were going on. Starting new company, bringing in new ideas, AI, robotics, all kinds of things. He now needed someone to sit him down or to slow him down and say, "Sir, are these things needed? What should you focus on?
Yes.
What is your brand focusing from?" All those kind of things. I think people over. So this is not to say that because you are running a big organization does not mean that you have clarity. It means that you have your hands into many things that might even be going well, but at some point you need to know, what should I slow down, what should I increase, what should I
Yes.
focus on. And I think this is what one of the things this book supplies and help guide into. So we are going to dive into it. I think the first part one, where to an extent, it helps to help you see whether or not you know your why. Many people assume what they know, and that is one big mistake we make. So chapter one under part one talks about the word that doesn't start with why.
Wow.
And you can imagine you are starting a business and you don't know why you are starting the business. I think we most likely will be sharing from our own different perspective about life and how we have done business in the past also. So for me, maybe before I start business, or maybe before now, years before now, the major reason for starting business is basically to make money. That when you do business, at some point money should come in, and the only time we pause or I pause is when the money is not coming in. So you start asking yourself, what am I not right? So that's like the measure to say that, wait, this money is not coming, something must be wrong.
You pause.
But this book, so this helps you see that, wait, money can be coming in, but a lot of things might not be right. So I will allow you to say something to that. Before now, or maybe when you really started business, do you know about this why of this thing? Or you probably were
Well,
like me.
yeah, as a business consultant, I will say most of these things are also not clear at the beginning, in all honesty. Yeah, I've been asked questions like, why do I choose this line of business? Why am I not doing this? And the only answers I could give that time was, I feel if I am working for myself, I should be able to do some other thing. I learned it from my lecturers. My lecturers will always say lecturing is the best job in the world. So I asked one of my closest lecturer why. He said because he could engage in other things. So when I finished school, I was just asking myself, what I don't like lecturing, not that I can't teach, but I don't like the way our lecturers have been treated. So I didn't see like a lucrative jobs. And the best jobs that you
Mm,
could get in my own season is maybe
I lost
being a
you.
banker,
Please
working in
confirm
a
you can hear
bank.
me.
Can you hear me? So maybe working in a bank and the rest of things like that. So I sat myself down, and fortunately for me, I served in organizations that brought in a consultant. So every time the consultant comes every now and then. So one of these days I just walk up to him like, what can I do to be a consultant? Do you know the simple answer the person gave me? Go Google your friend and I will mentor you. Okay. So I started. So anytime I have questions around, oh, help us do this, help us do that, I reach out to him, he puts me through. So from there, I was able to grow. Now, that now brought me to why working for organization. Even when I was working with other organizations, I have reasons to work on other organizations because it's always stated in my contract, like I can work on other businesses. But we always sign an NDA that any information from this business will not be shared outside. So that way we are both protected. So now, if you notice, I always like to read introduction of anything. At the beginning of this book, there was something that was being said. Now, when we are talking of aviations, the first brothers that fly plane, everybody knows Wright. I mean Wright brothers. But do you know that nobody knows that there is someone that were being funded $50,000 to even do the same thing, but was unsuccessful because why? Because most of us know success. Most of us identify with success. So what am I trying to say? At the beginning of this chapter, they really iterate on people that start with why. Why am I doing this? Why blink brings clarity before even strategy. I don't know if you get the point I just make now. So when you start with why, it just give you clarity before even coming up with strategy. So why is more or less like, why am I doing it? For many of us, we call it a purpose. So the purpose of doing a business is to make profits. Yes, very correct. And just like you mentioned, if I am not making profits, then I have to sit down myself and say, what could be wrong? I don't know if you understand. That is why some of us now run to people like us to come and ask, what do you think I'm doing wrong? Do you think I'm not doing exactly I meant to do? But when you as a business owner can start with why, trust me, every other person will buy into what you are doing. Your employee will buy into what you are doing. Your customer will buy into what you are doing. Even stakeholders will buy into what you are doing. So when you see many pitch, I've been into many. I mean, I've written many pitch decks, and I've also been a panelist and also listened to many pitch. What I notice most of the time is what make an idea funded. Sometimes it's not how beautiful the idea is. Sometimes it's not
Mm.
how organized the person is. The first thing that people buy into is the why. Why are you doing this in the
Yeah.
first place? Oh, because it solved this solution and is a pressing need. I saw the pain points and this is the solutions that can cure it. So people need to understand that before Apple, there are other computers corporations. But Apple stood out because Apple innovation is to make computer available to every individual. It's just like what Money Point does. I'm very sure you are aware of Money Point. When people started opening bank accounts for businesses, I mean corporate bank accounts, many of the small business owners were not part of it. There was no inclusivity for them. But when Money Points came, it break all those pain points for SMEs. Now SMEs can easily open accounts without even entering a bank. I don't know if you understand. Those are things that people buy into. Why are they doing it? When you hear Mr. Toasting talking about it, you will see that wow, this is a reason. So for anybody, for any business, you don't assume. My mentor will always tell me that assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. So when you want to do anything, you firstly gain clarity before even going with strategy. So that's what I can say about that.
Awesome, awesome. So I think what people should be getting out of what you said is number one is clarity before strategy. And that is very, very
Yeah.
profound. It's easy to have a business idea or you want to start up something, but I think it's now needed to pause and ask yourself, why do I want to start this business aside the money? Or maybe there should be a clause that okay, what if you are not making money in the first 6 months or 1 year? Would you still run this business and
Business,
still feel
or will you shut down?
exactly, or will you shut down? That is very, very important because at the end of the day, just like you said, when you go and pitch a business, sometimes I think people like you are in the best position to even tell us what people look out for before they fund the idea. And you've mentioned one of them, which is that we want to know why we even started the business at the first instance. Because that why, if it's not strong enough, then even if you have the money, you can decide to just pivot
Yeah,
at the middle
exactly.
of the money could be coming. I'm no more interested. I just want to pivot. But if the why is very strong, even when the money is not coming, you can still stay true till you break into limelight. That's very, very profound. So there's a takeaway here from chapter one, which is we must question why we think we know and seek deeper truth. Sometimes we even think we know our why. Like I
Mm,
mentioned when you had the previous conversation about this book. And I said, most people, before, if someone were to ask me that, what is your purpose? I would have said that my purpose, I would have connected it to a scripture based on what we were
mm.
taught. So growing up in church, my purpose is to raise new generation of leaders, new blah, 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 kingdom financiers, something like that. And it will look very, very correct
Of
based
course.
on what I knew. But after reading this book, I now saw that you might not have a scripture to back your maybe your why, but it's a deep calling inside of you. You just know that this thing, Once you are doing it, you feel fulfilled. As a matter of fact, yesterday, after I had a session with the two people, beyond the fact that I was able to help bring clarity, I felt fulfilled inside of me. There's this sense of
Yeah.
fulfillment that do what I love to do. And whether they
Yeah.
pay me or not, it gives me a sense of fulfillment. And I know it's the same thing with you when you work with your clients. There's this sense of fulfillment. Whether or not they pay you, inside of you, you feel you are doing something very, very remarkable. So we need to pause and ask ourselves what I think I know. Is it the truth or do I need to review it? And I think that's why books like this will help us, remove all the debris and give us much more clarity.
Conception.
So let's move very fast now. I would mention some of there are two ways to influence behavior that was stated in the book. One is manipulation and one is inspiration. And this speaks very clearly to business people. There are several ways, and I see someone joined this live session, and I think it will really speak to what we discussed yesterday. There are several ways we want to push our business to make profit or to get clients. One of the ways is reducing your price, bringing in discounts just to ensure that you are competing with the market. And Simon Sinek said
Yeah.
here that it's all population. It will bring in the clients, but they will not stay for long because
Exactly.
how much can you reduce your price just to get a client? You cannot always do
Mm.
that. They will come, but at the end of the day, they will leave. And someone said
They
something,
will
he
leave
said,
you.
you can't, yeah, they will leave you. Someone said something, he said, you can't be the best in the market and be the cheapest. You can't be the best.
Mm-hmm.
No, only one person have done something like this is Walmart, but you can't be the best and be the cheapest. Then the next one is promotion. For
Yeah.
marketing, I work in that space. You promote your business, you do this, you do that. It's very, very good. Bring eyeballs to your business. But you will see that after a while, not all of them will stay. You want said something that I want to pick out, which is that loyalty means that your brand or your customers know that you are expensive, yet they want to patronize you. They know that they have cheaper options. They just want to patronize you because of you or because they now understand why you do what you do. The next one you mentioned is fear. This is where we bring in tactics like limited offer, fear of missing out and all those. The next one is aspiration. You promise them a better life, which is good. All of these are not bad, but if they are not backed up with a deeper meaning, which is your why, it's just going to be on the surface. The
Yeah.
next one is peer pressure, using celebrities to endorse your business. Also very, however, without your why, it's just on the surface. So manipulation basically, all these are manipulations. They
Yeah.
work for the
Statics.
short yeah, they work for the short term, but when you have something solid behind what you do, it takes them deeper. And I want to cite an example. You know, sometimes I've met quite rich people and if you look at what they spend their money on, they might not give you 1 million. Hmm? Even if you ask them, they might not give you 1 million. But while you are with them, they can spend 5 million to support a project. They might not give you 1 million. You know they are capable of doing 1 million is nothing to them. But while you are there with them, they can spend 5 million to support another project. You will now see that the project they are supporting could be maybe for
Mm.
charity, maybe they are brown in the face of other people just to make a statement that they are doing something remarkable for the community. So that speaks to the fact that people do things or they support ideas not because of your the profit you are making or what they are getting back, but more because of what is behind that project. And I'll allow you speak to that in a few minutes.
Okay. All right. So I think you've done justice to some of these things. Now, the core idea around manipulation, you mentioned three things: discounts, promotions, and pressure. So these three things are the most important thing. Of course, I also learned this from Aki and Abi's book. You can't also be the cheapest in the market and be the original, in all honesty. I don't think people that buy, I don't know if you've experienced this before, but I have. And I tell myself, price will never be one of the strategies I will use. Have you ever talked to a client and maybe because you've been working with the client for some time, you just felt like the client can get your service or a particular thing at this rate. Meanwhile, out there is far more than, and you will notice that after saying that, your client will not come back to do it, and you will later hear about it that he has done that thing. Has it happened to you before?
Yeah, in this world together.
So that that was one of the highlights for me in 2024. So from that moment, I stopped being my closest clients or being the newest one. I don't use price strategies to win anybody over, because in all honesty, price does not mean that that customer will stay with you. It is just temporary, even if the customer stay with you. It's just like a brand doing bonanza. Do a bonanza for a particular discount. That does not make me a loyal customer to you. I just bought that product or service from you because of your bonanza. And after your bonanza, I'll go back to where I'm coming from, where I can receive top notch or something even far better than yours. So this is just a clear cut for anybody. So if you want to even manipulate anybody, it's not in price. I don't know if you understand. Promotions will not. Pressure. There is something I learned also when doing market penetrations for most startup. That is fear of missing out. So many people likes to get things because they don't want to miss out on it. Because now you can say, grab this thing within 5 hours and you get 10% or 100% off it. That is just the fear of missing out. So many people will get it. But to be sincere, that does not mean you are the best in the market. That you, because of the price you reduce, you have 80% of clients yourself, does not mean that is how it will continue. So the lessons anybody can learn here is manipulation drives transactions, not relationship. I'll repeat myself again. The great lesson anybody, be it a business or business leader, a founder, the great lesson you can learn is manipulation does not drive transaction. And sorry, manipulation drives transaction, but not relationship. So, which means that you can gain people to your side, but they are with you for transaction basis. You reduce your price, promotion is there, fear of missing out, it all comes to you. But that does not mean you have gained their entire relationship. So, purpose drives loyalty. So, when you keep showing them your purpose, that is what will drive their loyalty to you. Oh, you reduce your price, then you show them another way they can do things. This inspires employees and even customers. So, and don't pressurize. So, loyalty is built on belief. Then. So people have to understand this, and it's very, very important. That's what I would say about that.
Wow, awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are not saying that you should not promote your business. We are not saying that you should not, use marketing and all that. All we are saying is that make sure that even as people are coming, drive them down to why you are doing what you are doing. Even
Exactly.
if you are selling chin chin, let your
Hmm.
purpose sounding.
Be strong.
Let it, yeah, let it be strong. Some people they might discover that what they really want to do you know, is to take a percentage of their profit and help the less privileged.
Yeah.
That is very good. Now do is give it volume. Let your customers know that this is your purpose. So they know they are buying chin chin from you, but at the back of their mind, they feel they are supporting the less through
They are
buying
doing
chin
it for
chin
the
from you.
incentive.
Exactly. So so let's go to the core of this book. Perhaps we might stay longer here because it's the core of the book, which is the golden circle. Golden circle. This was where I had to pause and think and rethink about my own personal brand. Simon Sinek introduced the golden circle, which is why,
Why,
your how, and your what. So the why is your purpose and your belief. Why, what is driving everything you are doing online? If you ask why are we having this podcast, there's a reason why we want to have this podcast. Why we want to share our knowledge from the book and encourage more people to read the book. Then how are we doing it? We are doing it using YouTube live streaming to people so that people can have it. So what is the product? What is the offer? The product is that get the book and also read for yourself to learn more about why you do what you do. So I'll allow you to speak to this before I maybe say one or two things about golden circle.
Okay, so let's go back to the book itself. So in that particular chapter, I think Tunic actually use Apple, and they start with why. So the reason why Apple is very relevant today is because they start with why. They define their why clearly. So that gives them a focus. Also ensure every strategy reflects their why. Now, I mentioned the other time that before Apple, there were other computer corporations, but they were not, their why or their reason was just to keep making profit, making technology available to people. But when Apple came on board, they are ready to disrupt anything. They believe in challenging the status quo. So the status quo is just we are making technology available to everybody. So the status quo for them that they break was every individual, single individual can have a computer, a personal computer to themselves. So that's their why is what drives their strategy. So today you see most of Apple system everywhere now. People can afford it. But before, computers are not like that. I think before people like us even start using computer, we have to get to universities. I don't know if you understand. So their why was very, very strong. So their why is why, what is the purpose of this? And their how, which is their strategy, from their strategy. That makes it their beautiful aesthetic system design. Now, in their marketing, it is obvious. In the way the design of the system is, it is very obvious. You can see now that everybody now have a personal computer you can put inside your bag. That is their how. Just like your mission and your vision statement. Your mission is what you want to do. Your vision is how you plan to do it. So your how must be able to connect all your whys together. And finally, your what. So computers and phones are now available to everyone. Sorry, I'm using the highlight of the story that was used in the book. So now computers and phones are now available to everybody, which is very obvious. So clarity of purpose align with the team, it attracts the customers to Apple, and it also drives consistent decisions. So you can see that this is one of the things that makes a business or a person to even stand out. So it's just like a student that is just going to a university. Why are you here? Why are you in this department? Oh, I want to be the best student in the department. How do you plan to be the best student? I'll be reading my book. I'll keep a good friends. I will do this. I will do that. Blah blah blah. I'll go to class 80% of attendance. You understand? And what will be the result? The result is to be the best at the end of the day. So the same thing goes for a business owner that is just starting a business. Why are you in this business? Not to make profit. Yes, to make profit should not be the core. Yes, you make profit. Because let me be sincere with you. My pastor says value is the exchange that people are taking. I don't know if you understand. Value is what they are exchanging. Before I give you my money, I will know that you can give me value. So when people are paying for what you are doing, your services, your product, is because they know that that service or product can offer a value. I don't know if you understand. So don't say I am in this business because I want to make profit. Because my job is not paying enough, and that is why I start with side hustle. Your wife will be, oh, I want to make some people's pain point. I want to make something available for them. I want to make a solution that is never at their tips or at their fingertips available to them. That is your why. Now your why can now produce the money that you are talking about. How do you plan to make that solution available? How? You define it. And your what? The result you want to see at the end of the day. So I think that's the golden circle that Sinek was actually explaining that chapter 3.
That was perfect. So while you were just talking, I was thinking, perhaps, um, but let me say this. I was interviewing some set of young people for our business, and I asked one of them, "Why do you want to take up this job?" And the answer was very funny. He said, "Because he needed money." I was like, "Really? So you are taking this job to come and collect my money?" It's obvious that he doesn't understand. Even if that was what was in your mind, at least don't say it. But he just said it, and I was like, really? That is Gen Z. You just said it like that. I said, wow. So just to come and collect money. You don't have plan to help us grow the business, at least help us service customers. Just say, sir, I need money. I said, now, wow. That
Uh,
also speaks, even
I
though,
think Gen Z have to be secured in this area. In all honesty, making money is not a bad thing. So I love to make money, but beyond making money, there are something that sticks with me. If I've ever worked on your brand and I work on your brand and nothing changes, and like I won't see myself. Every brand I've worked with have legacy with them. To the extent that if I said I'm no longer working with them, I can always refer to them as a good worker. So beyond the money, of course, they'll pay me for providing service. But Gen Zs, most especially, to be sincere, they have to understand that beyond the money, there is also a place of impact. When you see a place, oh, I can make this impact here, and of course, making the impact, you also give it some cash in your pocket. That should be the whole idea, not that the first thing is first thing make money, first thing make money. You will make the money, calm down. You that you are learning software, you are learning coding. Of course, the end result is to make money. But what if your code does not impact the business? How do we even make money to give you money? So that's the thing that should be many people have to start thinking, especially the Gen Zs. Those are the first thing they have to start thinking. Oh, once I make the impact will affect the business will make more money. Then the more money can now recirculate and go back to the employee. That's how it works. That's how a wholesome system works nowadays.
yeah, that's supposed to be the system. I hope that they get to realize that for every business owner that wants to employ, we are looking for someone that can add value to our business so that we can move forward. As a matter of fact, paying more is not a big deal. If the money is
At
coming
all.
in, you want to pay more so that the person can stay and can be
Of
much
course.
more comfortable. There's a guy that resigned from our business because he already planned that he's not going to stay beyond a certain number of months because he wanted to start his own business. And when he was resigning, I told him, I said, give me 1 month extra. I would not even want you to leave, but if you are leaving, I want to be sure that I'm able to also support your business. And I told him I'm
Mm,
going to give him a certain amount of money. You know what this guy told me? He said, sir, don't give me money. Give me 1 month of
wow.
business advice. I said, wow. He said, don't give me money. He said, give me mentorship for 1 month. For no, for 2 months. I said,
Wow.
wow, this guy is smart.
Wow.
At the end of the day, after he left, I promised him that he's going to get that. After he left, I onboarded him to another sector of my business that does not involve him showing up physically. Now he's still
Wow.
working with me remotely. So I was so proud of him because he knew what he wanted. He needed the money badly, but he still felt,
Yes.
no, what this guy can offer me is beyond the money. Maybe I'll have given him maybe 50K, 100K, but he said, no, give me
That's
mentorship
all.
for 2 months. And at the end of the day, I still onboarded him into another sector of my business. He will still be paid, and I'm still offering him that mentorship. So that's very unique, and I really applauded him for that. So I'm just thinking behind, why you were speaking. But what of those people that they don't know how to even figure out their why? They are
Mm,
just, you can be in a situation in life where all you just need is money to just escape some situations. For us, maybe we past that level. There's a level of comfort we have, though we are not where we want to be. But
of
at some
course.
level, we are not. What we are looking for is business growth. new ideas, how to expand and all that. But for some people that even still struggling how to feed themselves, how do they know their why? Or is it possible for them to know their why?
Okay, I think this is a very profound question, and anybody listening to this, I might not give the perfect answer, especially that is, I mean, peculiar to your case, but I'll just give a generic one. So, in all understanding, people like me, people like Otavi, can be feeling the reason why we are doing what we are doing is we love seeing businesses grow. We love people achieving their goals because I'm also a coach on international basis, especially for people that are just transiting from school to workforce. I'm a coach in that aspect to make you employable and everything. So, but just like there is something that gives you joy. I mean, bliss. There is a passion you have for it, and of course, yeah, I know there is a general saying that sometimes when your passion is not bringing money, pursue to something that can bring you money. But do you know that even at the expense of doing something that is bringing you money, you will notice that you are still spending more time in things that gives you as in that you have passion about than things that give you money. I don't know if it has happened to you before. Me, I can be making money elsewhere, but when it comes to things that give me passion, I can do it more. Like the more energy I'm going to pour into it because it's just all about passion, but I might not gain the money. So how people can get to know their why is based on what inspires them, what inspire you to take action. Now you see people not doing well, you are inspired to take action to talk to them. Trust me, you're already having your why because you want to see them succeed. So there should be a correlation. Sometimes we don't connect the dots on time. We just struggle. Like, oh, I'm a bank manager. I work 9 to 5. At the end of the day, I find myself sitting down in my friend's lounge, and I love it that when I'm in bank. That should give you something to start something. Like you might not be the obvious person that owns the place, but you love people getting relaxed. That is something. So that can be something that can start your own why. So our brain is wired that way. The brain explains why and why works. Our brain will begin to tell us facts and purpose. But when we are not ourselves putting ourselves into that thing, we might not be able to get it. So the best thing, the general way, yes, passion will be there. Because when people are doing something, they will say, I feel right doing this. Yes, you feel right doing it. But how many people is that thing affecting? Because that is also very, very important. When you say you feel like doing something, but it's not affecting anybody, and trust me, that does not mean you should stop. Please do not stop. I've been I've been doing a lot of coaching so many times until when I receive a paid coaching. Like I've been talking for 2 hours without receiving any pay. But because I love doing it, I check on these people, they are doing well. Trust me, I love it. And when I want to refer to them, I mean to the places I've worked, I refer to them. Oh, I've worked with so people person before. It's something that give me joy. So in a nutshell, what I'm just trying to say is things that inspire you to take action. That can be the why. You see things not working well. Oh, you are inspired to take action on it. Trust me, that can be your why. All what you just have to do is just to sit down, gain more clarity on it, and trust me, sit down on it. It can be one of the things that will be your own good man. That's what I would say.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I mean, you've spoken well on that. I picked one or two things from what you said, which I want to, emphasize. Number one is that, especially for Gen Zs, some people, because of their present situation, they go after the money and ignore their
Mm.
passion. They feel, I'm doing this, I'm not making money from it. I beg, let me leave this, let me follow what will give me money. But it's possible to do the two. Never ignore your purpose for the money. Why not do both? Just that, of course, you might not be able to do both at the same level. For example, a banker will be busy in the bank, you are busy and active. But let's say as a banker also, you like to speak to people's identity. That one you can do it hours without stopping and they don't have to pay you. Instead of ignoring that and just focusing on your banking job, at your free time, still do that your purpose. Because like someone I saw on somebody's status, or I was in a live session and the person says that somebody is watching you. Somebody is watching. You might not know, but somebody is always watching you.
Of
So don't
course.
change life to fit into what you need at the moment. Still keep that thing that gives you joy, that you can do for free. Keep doing it. You might meet somebody even in your job that what the person would like is that thing that gives you joy, not even your job. And the person will pick interest in you, and from there, you know, you are up there. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
important to ensure that you don't drop that thing. You are still doing it. It might be small, it might be once in a month, might be once in a week, might be once in 2 months or 3 months. Keep doing it. Don't drop it. So all of us, we don't discover ourselves in one day. It's a journey. It's a journey. We don't understand everything. We just keep doing it. And at the end of the day, it keeps unfolding. But the worst thing that can happen is folding your hands and saying, I don't understand what to do, and you're not doing anything. And you mentioned one thing that was very profound, though you didn't mention it as a point. You kept on referring to your mentor, somebody that guided you. I think it's one thing everybody needs to look into. You must have somebody that you can go to,
Mm.
maybe once in 6 months, once in a year, that will just sit you down and ask you sincere questions. You just have conversations with. That alone can give you a lot of clarity. Somebody you can just message and say, ah, sir, I'm in the middle of this, I don't know exactly what to do. Just might not even have the perfect answer, might just say one word. And before you know it, that's exactly what you need. So it's very important we have such people around us that can always guide us. So we are wrapping up to the end. I'd like you to, is there something else you want to point out for our audience in the book?
Okay, yeah, I think that should be in chapter five. Please and please, if the first chapter you can read first in that book is chapter five, it will be a good one. So, chapter five talks about clarity, discipline, and consistency. These three things, as I mentioned, it can be a core value for some people. A successful organization maintains a clear why, a disciplined how, and consistent what. I'll repeat myself. Any successful organization you see out there, what they maintain is a clear why. They have a clarity when it comes to why we are doing it. And they have what we call a discipline how. Their strategy, they don't joke with it. They are very, very disciplined about it. I think the first bank, I would say this, the reason why I stick with Access Bank till tomorrow is because of this. OAU, I attended OAU. So we have bank area in my school. I don't have an account at first. So I always go to GT Bank, which is used by my roommate, and Echo Bank. Yeah, my own personal account is Echo Bank. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this story is it might look like it's joke. So our banking area, all branches are lined up. So we just enter different bank, no talk to. We just dey enter, we just dey enter. The first time they built and they commissioned Access Bank, we went there on a will I call it window shopping? I don't know what I'm going to call that thing. But we just went there to
Just
see how the bank look like. So at the gate, I saw the gate man welcoming me. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? I look at the person. I was like, wetin be all this? Why you greeting me good morning? All the banks wey dey here never greet me good morning before. I enter with a good morning. I enter the bank. There's another person beside the door that greeted me good morning. What do you want to do? Do you want to open an account? Do you want to do this? Do you want a security? I told my friend, oh boy, I don't want to open an account before. But with this topic, I will open an account. Why did I mention this story? Every business differentiate themselves. They have a competitive advantage. Like if you have ever contacted me before, there's a way I will treat you that someone else in that line of business will not treat you. That is what make me stand out. I don't need to be mentioning my qualities on the top, but that is what makes me stand out. One thing is, if I'm working with you, I'll be very open. The one they skyrocket the price or something change along the line, I will tell you, can we just slow down? Can we do this? What am I trying to say? Every successful organization maintain a clear why, and they have a discipline how and consistent work. So be it a business, be it in career, be it in in your career, your business, your personal life, please have these three things that define your life. Be very disciplined. See, discipline is who you are. Like Tosin will not take it. It's because that is who he is. Integrity is being a one man inside and outside. So which means that if you tell me this today, if something change, there is a way you will tell me that I will believe. But you that you don't have a track record in that, if you tell me something change, I will have to firstly laugh and say I will get back to you before I respond. What am I trying to say? Be it in your personal life, be it in your business, be it in your career, please have a clarity, be very disciplined, be very consistent. I've used this analogy during our review for our group before, and I will say it to close the whole thing. I don't know if you have seen this quote before. It has been used by funds, FOUNDR, is a page for businesses. Now they put out a tap that keeps dropping a water inside the bowl. And because the water does not drop, they now show us another scenario where the water is coming down and the water is making an ocean. So, which means that a droplet that did not stop sometimes can make an ocean. What am I trying to say? If you are very consistent with that particular thing you are doing, trust me, you can be known about it and even stand out in that field for the rest of your life. So be very consistent in anything you are doing. Don't drop balls at any point in time. Show up. Even if you don't have anything to say, show up. Say your excuses when you show up and change your excuses to become a success story as you go on. So that is what I will use to end. Thank you so much for this question. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So when you were talking, two things stood out for me that I think most people are not doing well. Number one is people up from one job or one business to the other. Like you said, stay consistent. It's just a drop that was dropping, and at the end of the day, we saw another side of the story that there's an ocean already. So instead of stopping one business to start another one, why not stay true with that business till you see the light? At least be sure that you have done all you need to do and nothing worked before you say, I want to stop this business to start something else. Sometimes business could take 2 years before it picks up. Like you said in your story, you have done free stuff for many people before you even got someone that could pay you for what you have been doing for free.
A
What
lot.
I do today, I've offered it for several people for free. There's a training I do every year with a particular brand, and we don't get paid. We train sometimes hundreds of people on media strategy and digital marketing for free. But sometimes
Mm,
out of the people that we train, it could be you one person out of maybe 50 people. I'll say, sir, I want to pay you for advanced training. So you can
mm,
see we do it, but yet one person out of them would compensate you for what you do for free. The second thing I want to say to round off is that when you understand your why, sometimes you might not be able to execute your why. This is where collaboration comes in. You can, if your why is very strong, maybe someone is watching this and you just feel, I know what I'm supposed to do. I have known it all these years, but I'm not being able to do it. Get someone to help you implement your why. Somebody, you can have a why and understand your why, but somebody can be your how. You understand the idea. You know what you want to achieve.
mm,
For execution is your major problem. Get someone that is strength or her strength is execution. Once you combine those kind of people together, you see that results will be inevitable. So a why needs to be, be connected to a how. And you have some people they are the why and they can execute also. But it needs to go beyond them to now transit to a team of people that can help execute the idea. We're going to stop here because of time. We are encouraging you to pick up the book, read the book for yourself, and we hope that you come back here to drop your own summary or something you learned that we didn't add to this video. For me, I'm done here. Do you have any other thing to say, or we can close here? Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I said for me, I'm done. Do you have any other thing to say, or we can close here? Confirm you can hear me.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So I said, from me, I'm done. Do you have any other thing to say, or we can close here?
No, we can end it. Thank you so much for the time.
So, we'll catch you up next time. Stay connected, and you can also subscribe to this channel. Have a blessed day.